So let's welcome Sean.
Hello everyone. Before we start the presentation, I want to ask you about two questions. First, what is your favorite sport and who is the greatest athlete in this sport? Maybe Michael Jordan. People who play basketball will say that. Well, in our generation, the answer may change to Kobe Bryant. People who play soccer, they may mention Messi or Ronaldo's name. But when it comes to football, well, people in Taiwan don't play football, but when you ask America about who is the greatest player, they know they will only mention one person. He's Tom Brady, the god of the football. Sorry. My presentation will divide into four parts. First, introduction to his achievement and record. Second, discussion about his background and career life. And third, conclusion to his glory and the final Q&A section. Introduction about his achievement and record. Tom Brady is a football player in America. He got unparalleled achievement in his career life with 7 times Super Bowl champion and 5 times MVP, which is the most for any individual player in the history. Also, he was selected for Pro Bowl, the All-Star game in NFL for 15 times, and many other personal records in the whole career. The record made him too much. The record made by him is too much that I have to put them in 3-page word, as you can see in the picture, just right here. And therefore, I won't name them item by item about his record. If you are interested in them, you can find them in Wikipedia. I Google it, and you will find how formidable he is in the football field. And the main discussion about his background and career life. Tom Brady is born in a sports family and he's shown his talent at an early age. He played basketball and football in his high school, and not until he went to college that he started focus on the football. Unlike most athletes, his road on football is far away from smooth but mountainous. For the first 2 years, he could only sit on the couch, but he used his effort to prove his ability and lead his team to great success in the following years. One thing that must mention is that the position he plays in is called quarterback, like the right person in the picture. Quarterback is like a brand in a team. He has to pass the ball to his teammate and executing strategy with his team. Therefore, quarterback doesn't have to be so ripped as and strong as most football players we have seen in American movies or series. They only have to stay sharp and pass the ball quick and precise. However, due to Tom Brady's slender body and poor performance in the open audition in NFL, he was selected as one ninth in the draft, and it was regarded the greatest defeat and a stand in his lifetime. Unfortunately, Tom Brady is not down by his setback. Instead, he worked harder than anyone and wait for the opportunity. And after a year, sit on a couch like his freshman in college, Tom Brady finally sees the golden chance to show himself. He frequently had a nice play in the game, but several times he turned the table and saved the game. The public was impressed by his excellent performance and nicknamed him as Comeback Kid, which means the one who can turn a defeat into victory. Although Tom Brady becomes so strong and stronger and consistently create records, he had not won a championship in NFL since 2005. The period is called Super Bowl drought, which means he didn't gain any championship in that period. Tom Brady isn't dismissed by the situation and keeps showing his dominance in the field. Uh, After a decade, in his late 30s, he finally received his fifth Super Bowl championship and contributed his team to another two in the following years. In 2019, Tom Brady led New England team, the place he started and thrived because of a team refused to give him a handsome reward corresponding to his performance. In fact, his wage was nearly higher than the league average, which is quite unfair to his superstar player. Later, he joined Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which the team only went to playoff 季后赛 only in one time in the past 30 years. However, he still showed the world his mighty power on the court and acquired another championship in the year. And the conclusion about his glory and the reason why he's selected in the Time 100 most influential people. In this year, 2022, Tom Brady announced news that he is ready to retire and it will be his last season in NFL. In my opinion, it's my great pleasure to witness the retirement of this legendary football player. And the reason he selected in Time 100 most influential people is not only the magnificent achievement he has made, but also the perseverance he has shown when he confronted difficulties. When people overlook his ability, like what he received in his college or his career life, he will work harder and wait for a chance instead of indulging himself. He made a comeback again and again, no matter how terrible the situation is. And there is a quote I want to show you about him. A lot of times, I find that people are blessed with the most talent, even develop that attitude, and one who aren't blessed that way, blessed in that way, are the most competitive and have the biggest heart. There are plenty of excellent athletes, only who create history and miracle can be remembered. And he is Tom Brady, the comeback kid, the god of the football. And this is my presentation. Thank you. And it will be the Q&A section.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I think Sean successfully tried to prove how successful this football player, Tom Brady, has changed maybe the whole football culture. So now can we start with any question or comment? I believe that some of you also know this famous football player. All right, so maybe I can start with a question. I think so, Sean. I think you also mentioned that when he entered the NFL, he fell at the bottom of the picks, right? Would you like to maybe elaborate on why he was not considered one of the most competitive rookies by the teams?
Yeah, although he got a great performance in his college life, but his performance in open audition 公开招募会 was very terrible.
Oh.
His performance was under the average, and his body figure is just like the amateur or the people who doesn't work a lot. He was very slender at that time.
Let's see. So we can maybe describe him as the kind of late bloomer, right? Like people who succeed or people who have reached success at a later stage in their life.
Yes.
Yeah, I think Michael Jordan, I think when he joined the NBA, I think he was actually picked as the 23rd. Right, so he didn't enter the NBA as the number 1 or the number 2 pick. So I think maybe Michael Jordan shares some similar career patterns with Tom Brady. Okay. Yeah, I think I also like how you use the statistics to really demonstrate the success of Tom Brady. Very good. So can we have another question or comment? And this is one of the final chances for Q&A today. So yeah, try to make the best of the opportunity.
Hi, this is Alex.
Hi, please.
I have a question for you. That after his retirement, what activities he can do or what career he can join to make him still have great influence? Yeah, what do you think? Thank you.
I think the coach will be perfect to him, or maybe the analyst or the anchor in the sports television show. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe he can just retire because we know his wife. His wife is a very famous model, and his wife even earn more than him. So he can just retire and be a good husband and raise his kids.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Alex. I think it's a good question. Yeah, I think this is maybe the question also faced by many famous athletes. But I think we know Tom Brady. He has also started his own business, right? I think he's also an investor right now. So I think he's going to maybe even get busier after his retirement, or maybe his second retirement. All right, good. So any other question or comments?
I'm wondering why he can have such a long career. Is it because of his own body strength or what? Because normally an athlete have like 15 years is like max, but he has like 22 years.
Yes, actually, he's 41 years old now, and it was because the position he played in. He plays. His position is quarterback. The man hide behind the team and pass the ball. So he usually don't need so many conflict between his enemy. He only thing he do is just throw the ball and run, or perform some strategic uh, attack. So he could have longer career period than other players in the field.
Thank you. That's very clear.
Yeah, thank you, Ken. I think it's another really important question. Yeah, I think this can be the question among our audience. Yeah, I think I like what Sean just explained. Yeah, I think it's true. I think, of course, we know to be a very successful athlete, you need to know how to protect the body. That's also the key, right? To long career life among athletes. But unless you try some risky activity like flying the helicopter, right? It's not something you can control. Right, good. So any other questions or comments?
Oh, I'm Owen. I want to ask a
Yes.
question.
Yes, please.
So, do you think Tom Brady has a chance to win champions again? Because in recent years, many young stars start to pop up in the league. So, and the league is become more competitive. So, do you think even at his 40, I think he's 44 years old, do you think he
Sorry.
still have a chance to win again?
Because I don't know much about his team now. He's playing now, the Tampa Bay Mouse, and so I have no so many information about it. But I think Tom Brady still has the mighty in the field. I still have the dominance to control the game. But after all, the football is a team. It's a need to work like in a team. So it cannot just depend on him. So that is my answer. I think there is a real chance for him to gain another championship in this.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Owen. Yeah, I think it's a good question. I think it's also maybe the question of the NFL fans. would like to know. Yeah, I think then we have to just wait and see. Okay. Yeah, I think personally, I wish to see him win another championship. Yeah, even though maybe the chance might be quite slim. All right, very good. So before we move on, do you have any further questions or comments? Okay, so if not, let's give Sean a big hand. So thank you very much. All right, so now we're going to move on to our final